Hello, and welcome back to the Very Real Estate Effect podcast, a show dedicated to real estate investing right here in Quebec. Today, we're joined by Jean-Francois Carriere, who's an expert in land development. And I look really forward to going into it. But before we do, I have two things I would like to share. Number one, as usual, if you like the content and if you feel like it could help a friend, please share it with them, leave me a review, send me some comments and some feedback. I always take it seriously because I want to improve on the guests that we get and my interviewing skills. So please let me know. And secondly, and this episode, and that's what I was just sharing with GF here, is actually quite special because it's the 50th episode. It's almost been 1 year. And I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you for your support. It really means a lot. I'm even, I wouldn't say surprised because I put a lot of hard work into it that we got this far. And I had far underestimated the amount of people I would meet and amazing conversations I've had and that I've been lucky enough to be able to share with all of you. So thank you very much. It's deeply appreciated. And please keep sharing it with others and send me some feedback. So there you go for the housekeeping. So Jean-Francois, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you, Axel. I appreciate, for the 51. Wow, good show. It's amazing. Amazing pulse, amazing 50. Good show, man, Axel. It's a very pleasure to discuss with you about different things about land development.
Exactly. And look, so you're an expert in the field. You're quite known in the Quebec community for the land development. And I'm really happy to have you on today because I'd actually like to get into more land development. And so I will ask you some, go in and ask you some questions because I know it'll help me and it'll help a lot of people that are listening. So, well, first of all, how did you even get into real estate and land development in the first place?
First of all, I'm not an expert. I'm just a developer, but I'm more specialized on land development. So since 2007, and I'm starting on land development. And before that, I was entrepreneur specialized on fire protection. Okay. So across Canada, across Quebec, then we do a lot of things across a lot of our restaurant building, industrial building, hotels and everything on fire protection. So a lot of things on this side that I know and I could apply for when we build a building. But when I'm starting in 2007, it's just a mistake because I sold my company on fire protection to my brother because my brothers continue. And after that, I was an intermediary on financing. Okay. So I know someone have cash and I know someone have some developments to do. So I try to join those both people and to do a match. Mm-hmm. But every time I always took the document and I said, hey, why you don't do that? Why you don't just do a little ad on your project? And times after times, I see some customer, and one of this time, I was with a customer, and then he want to transfer his bar on real estate development houses, townhouse in Laval, Val-de-Laurentide. So I discussed with them, but I never do the deal with the owner. But during the time, then I'm discussing with the guy, another guy here, he saw me and he said, hey, Jeff, I want to see you. So we're going outside. We discussed a little bit, and he said, I have a deal. So can we work together? You have access to finance and I have access to the lands. And this land is for sold from the city of Two River. So we do the first deal like that. So that's where I'm starting on the first time in the bar.
Wow. It's funny how you actually been able to pivot from your fire protection company, as you said, like by mistake. It wasn't on purpose, but then it turned out actually really well because now that's what you're doing full time and you've had quite a bit of success. So you must have done something right.
Exactly.
Okay, so since the beginning, like in your real estate career, that I understand, you've really focused on land, and you didn't want to do optimization. You didn't want to do, well, I guess you did do new construction, but like you pick land and you stick to that niche. And so, why in particular land? What is it that you like about it so much? Why do you think it offers so many opportunities?
The opportunity is because you're starting from scratch. So when you buy a existing building, you could add all problem, because when you will do a new rebuild of the building, and you have to destroy the inside, you never know what's happened. But when you start at zero from the land, you have grass and you have something under the land. That's another problem that we always take, just to be sure. Then we with some soil test, then we're going to don't have any problem with the land.
Mhm.
But after that, the problems, it cannot, it could be prepared, it could be, everything could be scheduled. So it's step by step, the real estate development, specifically on land, and it's starting somewhere and finishing another where. When you finish at the end, because and it's always step by step to build the future building. And today, we have a lot of lands to be developed, and a
Mhm.
lot of land could be redeveloped, because actually, if we're looking at the old town, a lot of old building. So today you could destroy those duplex, those triplex, and build a new building, 4, 5, 6 floor, and higher than that if the city could give you the authorization. That's really.
Okay. And so I understand what you mean by, oh, it's just in a way easier because you start with just a green field, and so on. But I think what I wouldn't say scares, but what frightens a lot of people, yeah, is actually like all the questions of like, well, zoning, like maybe I can only build single family homes and I want to do multifamily. So then that piece of land is not interesting for me. And so there's so many obstacles, or like the infrastructure is may not be in place. And then you have to do like a half kilometer of sewer, and that scares people away. So like, how do you go about determining like what is it that's the best use of that land, and to see if it's actually interesting of a deal?
It's a good question, Axel, because sometimes you don't know that the zoning is there. But today, don't forget, a lot of city have interactive charts. Then you could see the zoning. So, and double click, triple click, you could see the zoning. But first, the first thinking that you could do with your eyes, you could see when you're moving on the street and you see the little house like that. But this little house like that, on the neighbor has a, let's figure, 3 floor, the other one has a commercial, and 100 meter and there you have another 6 apartments buildings. So if you're looking only that, you see then in the middle the house, don't figure there. So this is a redevelopment that is possible. So this is the first step. Then some people could looking that. Another point, you take your car and you're running on the street and you see a lot of new building. Something happened in the neighbor. So the city want the new densification. If the city wants the new densification on the boulevard, so you have an opportunity because some people pass before you. So you could get the other piece of land, do some purchase offer, develop this purchase offer during the promesse d'achat. You could always working with the city to do the approval of your new project.
Okay, so you really do recommend like put it under contract and then try to figure out what's the best possible use of it.
Absolutely. On the purchase offer, you always mark down conditioning as the city approve the deal, approve the new project. So
Okay.
you will have time, because to approve on CCE, Comité Consultatif d'Urbanisme, it will take time.
Yeah.
So the time is not against you. The developer is on your side. It's very easy to get the 90, 120 180 days during the purchase offer when you develop a land, because it's just normal. Every people knows that this take time to do have the approval. So when you have the approval, you upgrade the value of your lands.
Definitely.
So it's a very good thing when you're a developer.
Mhm.
So we came back on the first step. When you buy an existing sixplex apartments, you have to inject, let's figure $200,000, but you will inject, this is your 25%, that's the bank ask to put your loans. But if you do a real estate development, you will start with the land, they don't have value. But as soon as the land is accepted, your projects is accepted on the lands, you have a new value of the lands. This is the new value you will have under the top of your new 6 apartment building.
Mhm.
And you will get at the end, buy the lands, soft cost, hard cost, and a financial fee under 75%. So you will have your 25% of equity. Then
Yeah.
on the first phase, then when you buy the building, you put 25% down, but on real estate development, you develop your equity, your
Mhm.
25%.
Yeah, you really develop it. And as you said, like the key is to, and I'm just going to throw in some numbers here, but is to buy at $2 a square foot and bring it to $12 a square foot once your project has been pre-approved.
Exactly. And
Okay.
when your project is approved, you have a new value on the land. Naturally, you have to everything has to be on
In contract, in
in
writing.
contract. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I just want to backtrack a little bit. Like, given how hot the market is right now, I find it sometimes difficult to add more time for due diligence. So, you mentioned like 90, 120, 180 days. I mean, that would probably be valid for very large parcels of land. But if it's like, 20,000 square feet, people are going to say, look, if you don't buy it and if you don't close in 60 days, you're gone. I'll give it to somebody else. So how would you go about that, negotiating that with owners?
But you know what? It's a good question but you have to use your brain. You have to figure out on your purchase offer, and you have to figure out when you're going to use each clause.
Mhm.
Naturally, if you do everything on the first month, you cannot reconditioning the 30 days. But you have to take time. What is the first step? That's for sure a purchase offer on buy 6 apartment, existing 6 apartment, and a purchase offer to develop a 6 apartment on the land is not the same purchase
No.
offer. We have to do some steps. Only do soil tests. Phase 1 is 30, 45 days.
Yeah.
Caractérisation des sols. It will take another 45 days. If you put under the top of that, the geotechnical, just to be sure that the building and the soil is okay, it's another 60 days. Only there we're between 90 to 120.
Mhm.
So you have to use your environmental specialist correctly on phase. So you can reconduct
Mhm.
your purchase offer.
Okay.
Sorry for my language, but it's okay.
No, I get it. And so, just out of curiosity, would you recommend starting all of those 3 phases at the same time in parallel, or would you put them back to back? Because as you said, like if it's 30 or 60 days every time, I would say, okay, let's start everything at once.
Exactly. We have to do one phase at a time. And you have other tricks that's for sure you could use. After the years and the years, then you develop piece of lands, you develop some tricks. And my partners show me how to expand your purchase offer. And my record actually, after my purchase offer was signed, 3 years, then I extend
Wow.
30 days per 30 days.
Wow. You extended for 3 years?
3 years.
Wow. Congratulations, man.
This is the Tim Hortons at Point Calumet. You know where you go to see, you have a glissade d'eau there?
Yeah.
You pass in the front of the Tim Hortons on Point Calumet. This is the one that I took 3 years to reconduct my purchase offer.
Wow. That was worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so we've kind of started to jump into it, but I was just gonna say, like, could we go over like some of the major steps that we have to go through? And so, you mentioned like the soil test, the geotechnical, and so on, but like in it, I wouldn't say in a nutshell, but like roughly, like what are the steps that people have to go through between, you make your offer and it's accepted, and you can actually move forward and maybe start construction if you don't resell it.
But it takes step. You have to figure out all the. You have to structure your deal. You have to structure to be sure the numbers is correct, because at the end you don't want to inject money.
Mhm.
The best thing that you could do is calculate everything on your purchase offer, and at the end you decide if you go or don't go. So this is your financial objective. Each person have different financial objective. Some people don't care if they inject money at the end of the project. For me, it's impossible. At the end of each project, I have to I need my equity of 25 to 50%. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's how you make money, because if you have to pay more at the end, I mean, the project costed you, and we're doing this to make money, so it would kind of defeat the purpose.
Exactly. And
Mhm.
you know what? When you're under construction, you prepare another one. And when the other one is on construction, you prepare another one. So it's always a roulement of project. At the end of the day, we're a project manager, right?
Mhm. Yeah, we just have to manage different resources and coordinate all of them properly.
Exactly. And it's not taking a lot of time. Let's figure we're going for a sixplex. Let's imagine we're talking about a sixplex. A sixplex or a 12plex, when you start your purchase offer until you will have your permis de construction, it will take maybe 4 5 months, 4 months, 5 months, and during this project, maybe you will put four 4 to 8 hours.
Okay,
uh,
wait, I just want to clarify. You said between the moment where you make your offer to purchase and you get your building permit, you have 4 months?
4 months, and you will put approximately between 4 to 8 hours,
Okay,
not
because
not higher than that.
I was gonna say, like, I would have thought it'd be like half a year or a year, because by the time you make the offer and it's accepted, you do your soil, you do your geotechnical, then you need to get an architect to start designing, and then you need to apply for the permit. And just once you've submitted, it can take like 3 months just at City Hall.
Between 3 and 4, let's figure. If it depends if you go on CCU or not. If you go
Yeah.
on CCU, it will take another 2 months, but normally it will take between 3 and 4 months to pre-develop
Okay.
the the lands. And
Okay.
after that, you're going on the permit. Then the permit, when you deposit, it will take you not higher than that. It's just a sixplex. It's not a
Yeah.
big project. Between 6 and 12, it's not a big project. So it would take, for me, if I do a sixplex, maybe I will put 3 hours, not higher than that, because it's
Mhm.
always we manage.
Yeah.
So the architect send you something. You're looking there. You're looking. Oh, I'm not happy. Came back to the architect. I'm happy. Package everything. Sent to the city to get the permit. Or
Mhm.
it's pretty easy.
Okay. And so when you say like, 4 months, that's for a pre-approval, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay. So that's just going to the city and say, hey, if I was to submit a building permit to build this, would you potentially accept it? And then they say yes or no, but they don't actually
exactly.
study the whole package.
Exactly. All city have the avis préliminaire.
Okay.
We always starting with that. So you don't invest a lot of money first during your purchase offer. This is the first step. You will get the avis préliminaire. It's
Mhm.
okay or not okay. You respect the zoning. You respect all the stuff, including in the zoning for this lands. It's okay. Your authorization. But you have to do un amendement de zonage. It's another thing. Un changement de zonage, and that's another thing.
Mhm.
But this is for a small project, that's for sure. We don't
Yeah.
talk here about big project or huge project.
Mhm.
A regular project that every people could do.
Okay, so you mentioned something very interesting that I've thought about quite a bit, is that obviously the city of Montreal is growing and the cities want to increase density. So they don't want it to spread, they want it to rise. But there's still a fair amount of movement outwards. And so sometimes there's the tendency to want to convert agricultural land into single family or like medium density. Would you recommend trying to do something like that? Like, how difficult is it?
This is this is a very good idea. It's a good idea, but it's a long idea. If it's CPTAQ, protection agricole,
Yeah, it's
you don't go there.
okay.
It's too long. But some piece of lands, agricole, you could do the changement,
Okay.
the changement, but it will take lot of time. Yeah, but every people when they start, they don't start with and they don't focus on that style of development. It's
Mhm.
preferable to go and develop something than it's full zoning. We could do a 12. We're going to do a 12. Don't try to go on 16, 18, or 24 apartments.
Yeah.
It's zoning for 12. Go for a 12. When you start on the regular zoning. It's perfect. For sure, you could start with a big, huge project, but who's could do it? Not a lot of people could do the big, huge project when they do their
Mhm.
first development. But the
Sure.
first step is, it's preferable to working with a small one, and it's great too.
And as you said, to start with a small development with whatever is allowed by the current zoning, so you don't need to make any changes. And I don't want to say you apply a cookie cutter, but you know what I mean by that.
Exactly, it's very rapidly, and with to when you start at zero, purchase offer is offer until it's built and the people is moving inside the building. Your for sure, your future 6 apartment maybe it could take 8 to 10 months.
Mhm. Which is still acceptable. And on the financing side, correct me if I'm wrong, but like as long as you're able to purchase the land in order to start construction, the land value can be used as the down payment.
Exactly. But this is another step,
Yeah.
because when you do a value on your piece of land, let's figure you do a purchase offer on a small houses like that, and you do a purchase offer of 250 grand. But after the project is approved, let's figure a 6, an 8, or 12 apartments, a future project. Maybe your lands has a value double or triple than your purchase offer was done,
Yeah.
accepted.
Yeah.
So if you go on financing, you have two way to go. The first one, private one. Second one, the bank. So if you go in private, let's figure you have a purchase offer of 250 grand, and the lands has a new value. Don't go too higher. Let's figure 400 grand.
Mhm.
Is it your private people that could loan you? Could they will give you money to buy the piece of land of 250 grand and the new value approved with a professional at 450 grand?
For sure.
So he knows then the new value is there. So if people could finance you, private one, it's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where we're going.
Yeah, private lenders would offer more flexibility when it comes to that and recognizing the new appraised value than a bank would, where they're always very risk averse.
And when I start, I always use private lender. No choice though.
Mhm.
We start when you start. So, and when you do the value of the land, the people said, "Oh, wow, Jeff, you do something great." So you invest money on soft cost, and now we want to go on the second step: buy the lands and build the new building.
Mhm.
So he's there for you to start.
Develop it. And with the projects that you've done like that, do you actually resell once it's ready to start construction, or do you sometimes do the construction and keep it long term?
Both.
Okay.
Always both. A lot of people said don't sell. Me, I said you have to sell someone because you don't have choice. You need money in your pocket to develop a new deal.
Yeah, you do cash flow.
Exactly. You need cash flow. Always cash flow.
Mhm. So you've done quite a few of those projects, and I was hoping maybe we could like pick one or two, and you could kind of walk us through like a couple of success stories that you've had where, maybe you just stumbled among something, and then you're like, wow, there's a big opportunity, and then you end up building or reselling it. Like, do you have an example or two like that you could share?
Let's figure. Maybe I could talk to you about the La Cité Mirabel. The
Sure.
exit, the Highway 15, exit 28. Ray Jr. put a purchase offer of on 4.5 million square foot of the land. Everybody knows today the La Cité Mirabel.
Yeah.
But when I meet them the first time, and the first part of the land, it's a gas station.
Yeah.
The petrol cans. So at this moment, I was a developer specialized on gas station. So I meet the Ray and said, okay, I will sell you the land. Okay, great. So I came back to my partners in Montreal, Jewish partners. He said to me, okay, good. It's a good corner. I like. So I said, yeah, it's a good show. We're on the Highway 15. He said, okay. So Junior asked for 150 grand deposit on his notary. I said, okay. So my partner said, I will do the check. So I said, okay. So I go to the Montreal, pick up the check. I start from Montreal and I drive until Mirabel. Arriving at Mirabel, where's the check? I lost the certified check.
What? Oh my God.
So I take my phone and I call my partners. Hey, you know what? I lost the check. He said, okay, Jeff, came back. I will give you another one. So Junior, he said, no, you don't want to give me the check, blah, blah, blah. No, don't forget. Don't. Anyway, I will come back tomorrow with the new check.
Yeah.
So the day after I came back with the check, we do the deposit. We do the purchase offer for accept. We do the diligence. And at the end, my partner has other project and everything. So he said, you know what, Jeff, I cannot do this one with you. So because I'm busy with some big one in Candiac, blah, blah, blah. So I cannot go. So I said, okay, no problem. So,
but you still have it. You still have it under contract with Ray.
Yeah, exactly. But I came back to Ray. I said, hey, sorry, Ray. We have to scratch the purchase offer, and I will came back with the 150 K to my friends. And you know what? I cannot go on the land. Said, oh, okay, Jeff, I'm disappointed, blah, blah, blah. So I said, tomorrow I go to pick up the check. I go to pick up the check. He said, he gave me the check. And he said, you know what, Jeff? Why we don't do the project together?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So came back next week, take an appointment, discuss. So I came back to give the check to my partners. And the week after, I do a deal with Ray. So we're a co-actionnaire with the Alt de Cité Mirabel, the first part with the Petro-Canada and all the restaurant. So that's where we start with the Cité Mirabel, and the Cité Mirabel starting with this first project. So it's a very huge project because it's approximately 11 million value of these parts of the big project.
Yeah, of the total development. And
exactly.
I mean, there's an entire neighborhood, and it's like a small city in the city that's been built over there.
So if some people listen to me right now, you know, the real estate development, you could do a lot of partnership with the owner of the lands, or you could buy and develop yourself. You could buy and develop with someone. It's great and fantastic. More people was in the basket. You going to diminish your risk, and you're going to add more real estate developments. Yeah. It's very cool for that. So that's where I'm starting with Ray and the adventure of La Cité Mirabel.
Wow, that's a great story, and everyone knows this place just from driving by on the 15 going up north. So that's something that everyone can absolutely relate to.
But we're working very hard, because you know, when the first day when I present the lands to Petrocans, we are arriving where it's nothing, nothing there. The highway and the exit stop there. There's nothing. So we're walking on the snow, and the guys, the director of development of Petrocan said to me, "You're crazy, Jeff. You're
Yes,
crazy.
I'm crazy.
You wanna do a gas station here? It'd be an amazing one. Trust
Yeah.
me, it'd be a great one."
Yeah.
So he's very, because I approach first, the first and approach is Costal. Because a couple of months before I do a deal with Costal, and Costal said to me, "Oh no, it's not a good spot. It's not a good spot. It's not
They
a good
missed
spot."
out. They missed out.
So I approached Petrocan and said, so it took me a lot of time. And after the guy from Toronto take the flight, it came to Montreal, and arriving on the spot, he's like, "There's nothing." But Outlets Montreal's coming, Mirabel, so we do a sales pitch, and at the end they sign, and they are very happy today because this is the biggest gas station on the Highway 15.
All right. And the thing too is that it's great that there is nothing, because maybe they needed to be reminded that there's hundreds of units that are going to be developed in the back, and the traffic on that road is about to increase. I don't know how many dozen folds.
Exactly. It's funny. It's a huge project. So Ray have a great idea to develop all the stuff, all the step by step. So he sold the part to Mathieu, Banzai, and now he's on 7 cents, and he's built a lot of condos as it's planified. So fantastic.
Yeah, no, and Ray is an absolute visionary, like his book portrays, and have a lot of respect and admiration for him for what he's done over there, because it was not an easy project, and people didn't want to believe him or follow him, especially on the financing side. And now like this project is part of the north of Montreal landscape.
Exactly.
Well, look, thank you very much, Jean-Francois. This has been quite informative. And lastly, like, where can people find out more about you? Because I understand you also do a program on teaching people how to learn to do development.
Yeah, on Facebook, Apparent Créateur de Richesse. Apparent Créateur de Richesse in French. So now we starting in French, but in the future, that's for sure, we want to go in English one. I have some people's working with me, and I'm going to upgrade until the English, but actually that's for sure, it's 100% on French. But if some people want to be a developer, we could help them, that's for sure. Because now I take a lot of time to learn to someone to be a developer. Because I think actually in Montreal, they have more opportunity to develop a piece of land than to buy some stuff, existing stuff.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Actually,
that's my opinion. But for sure, I never buy. Oh no, sorry, I buy one time.
You bought one time,
but it's coming with the land.
And I agree with you right now. There's so many people looking to buy properties that in some cases it's just better to find a piece of land and just redevelop everything, because also the inventory is so old.
Exactly. It's so old, but at the end, every city, first line, second line, or third one, fourth one, fifth one, everybody need to live somewhere.
Yeah.
But if, let's figure you rent an apartment at $100,000 a month.
100,000? No, 1,000.
1,000 a month. But you could have a new one for $1,250.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's figure.
Yeah.
Old one with some bibit and all the problems coming with water and dusty and a lot of things, or you're going on new ones. And don't forget, when you build a new apartments, the next 5 years, you control 100% the revenue.
Yeah, no, it's a big advantage, and at least there's that incentive for new construction, which makes a difference for the owner and operator.
Exactly, and the new tenants, the new building now is coming with the five machines. Let's figure a washing machine, dishwasher, everything, and upgrade the Wi-Fi, and so it's upgrade your numbers,
Yeah.
the value of your building, more higher lease. So the building has a better value than when you do to rebuild the old one.
Absolutely. Wow, that was very informative. Thank you very much. It's inspiring, and I want to do more land development. So I'm going to re-listen to this again to make sure I get everything out of it.
Thank you, Sal.
Thank you very much. I will put the Apeiron Créateur de Richesse in the show notes, so anyone can reach out to you, find you on Facebook, and so on. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you again. And I would love to cross you, and maybe one day we'll do a deal together. Who knows what the future holds?
We never know where the real estate could bring you. So where's the road? You know when you start, but you don't know where you finish.
That's right. That's right. All right. Well, thank you very much, Jean-Francois. Thank you everyone for tuning in today. I hope you found some golden nuggets out of this conversation. And again, thank you again. It's the 50th episode. I couldn't have done it without you and your support. And in the meantime, I will talk to you next week. Have a wonderful day and go make some purchase offers. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.